baby.
How you feeling, brother?
I am good, bro.
You know you have that drag on your...
Yeah, I do, bro. Honestly, I put it here just as a way.
Are you showing
No,
people something?
you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
People have asked me, it's like, is this a fashion statement? I'm like, no, I just try not to lose it. Like, I literally just, if I take it off my head, it'll stay, like, intact like this. So I'm just going to run myself like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just a little do-rag.
Okay.
It's not a satchel. It's not a bag. It's just a do-rag.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Who do we have in the building, my
So today, obviously, we are not in the usual space.
No, we are not. This comfortable chair.
Yeah,
I like this. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is
so
nice.
I just, if you're an OG, you remember that our first episode that we dropped back was the anniversary episode.
Yeah.
And we were outside of this very building.
Yes.
This is the River House, everyone.
Absolutely.
And our time at the River House has unfortunately come to a horrific end. We will not ever be able to step foot in this place
It's an
again.
insane way to verbiage.
I mean, am I wrong?
You're right, but like horrific is crazy.
Anyway, we will no longer be able to just have fun here anymore. And so we have decided to do our last episode in this building here, inside this time. And we have a very super
extremely varies
special guest in the building. She has literally
Come on.
put her hands
Come on.
and feet
Come on.
and toenails
Every
inside of the MWTI experience.
Come
Everything you see from the logo to the little thing that I put on the reels to the color scheme.
Keep pushing.
The guidelines.
You're not done.
Everything that you see as MWTI would not be here without her.
Who's her?
Ladies and gentlemen, her.
Miss
Hello, family.
Oh my
How are you?
goodness.
I'm swell. I'm swell.
Oh
I'm
my
good. I'm
goodness.
good. How are you?
I mean, welcome
We're
to the
doing
A,
well.
welcome to
We're
the
doing
city.
well. Welcome to the A, my good sis.
Okay.
You're kind of a native here. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you might be one of
I
the
wouldn't say
ones.
native.
Okay,
native.
fine.
I would have said native.
Let's
I
say
consider
you have
myself a
you-
part-time local.
Okay, a part-time local, but I feel like you spend enough time here to where, like, you got people here for real.
I have a lot of people.
You have a lot of people. I feel like we can't discredit your ties to the A, you know? But
I've
we
done my
appreciate
time,
you.
you know?
You have. But we appreciate you for being out here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
We
you.
very much do.
Glad to be here.
How are you?
You said, how am I?
Yes. How are you?
You know,
Let's just
I'm
start with
good.
how are you?
It's nice to get away from home for a little getaway weekend.
Yeah.
A little solo trip.
Yeah.
A little one too.
You know, I had a quick little deal on a flight that I had to make shakes. This
And,
is my
you know,
destination of choice.
It be like that. It's like
Shaking hands.
just a little shake and bake, a little 1, 2.
Yeah, but I'm good. You know, keeping up with life.
That's important. That's
Riding
important.
as
It's
best I
summertime.
can.
It's
Yeah,
hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
I thought. I mean, no,
Atlanta?
Hot
I didn't
Atlanta.
think.
No
The
one
thing-
says
the
that.
thing
Oh, no,
is,
but you just did that.
No,
And I got
no,
you.
and that
But
makes
the
me
thing
angry
is-
that I fell for it because no one says Hotlanta.
It's been this hot in Ohio though. That's the thing. I left the heat to come back to the heat.
How hot is it
So
been
it's-
in
It's
Ohio?
been like 85 to 7 all week.
Yeah.
It's been hot and also very humid. It's at least a little dry right now in Atlanta, but like it's still 95 degrees
You
Girl,
say
it's-
you say
it's-
where?
in Atlanta.
Say it one more time.
Atlanta.
Say it louder for the...
What is the problem?
Just one more time.
Atlanta.
Okay. They ain't no seeing that way, man.
Atlanta.
Come on,
Thank
you
you.
knew.
Thank you.
You knew.
Atlanta.
Stop
Thank
it. Stop
you.
it. You do.
I like to
Oh.
emphasize my T sometimes.
No,
Fair
that's
enough. Fair enough.
true. You know,
Yeah, I don't...
Because
I
it
can't
is
be
that.
mad at it.
It's that, isn't it?
It's there.
Atlanta.
Like,
Okay, sure. Anyway, let's get into
Let's
it because
really get
we're
into
bursting at the seams, and before we get into why you're here, what you do, and give the people a little background, we want to talk about music.
come on, you know.
Because that's
the
what we
vibe.
do every
You know-
single
you know the
week.
vibes.
We bring the people the goodness of music. That's what we share, right? That's our way to it on the low.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, you yourself, you're a music savant. You enjoy
And she
music.
can
It
sing
is some
her
crazy
face.
titles being thrown around.
Hey,
These
am I
minutes, 10
wrong?
minutes of recording.
Am I
All
wrong?
You folks, I will throw shoes at her
Okay, no, for
in the
sure.
car while I'm driving.
Let me tell you, she be
That's
singing.
how, yeah.
She be singing. Don't get it twisted. My good sis be singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do my best.
You know what I mean? But
She
you
got some
also
soul
doing the best with what I
just
You know what I'm
she,
saying?
yeah.
Like we could. You are.
No.
We're not doing this again.
Ah!
We're not doing this
That's
again.
where we cut the
We're
tape.
not doing this
Because Matthew
on,
has been
guys.
singing this song for the past 45 minutes straight.
It's been on his
And
heart.
expecting everyone to
Everyone
join in.
give him
joyously.
137%.
My
No one's
Like,
giving you
that's
130% on this song.
desire.
It started. No. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Fine. Can we at least agree on Gunna?
Yeah.
Duh.
Jeez.
Trisha.
How'd you guys feel about his most recent
Man,
song?
I'm a
I can't
fan.
stop listening to it.
I'm
I
a fan. I'm
I
not
told my
gonna lie.
boyfriend this because he's a big Gunna fan.
Really?
And I never really sought after his music
Okay.
on my own time. If it came on, I'm like, this is a vibe. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. But this album, when I tell you, as soon as I sit my butt in the car seat,
Yeah.
shuffle.
Yeah, it's like, oof.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need it.
That's Harlem, everyone.
Nice.
Yeah. He's in the...
He's probably distracted by the occurrences
Absolutely.
occurring outside.
Yeah.
Until MWTI is a budgeted, plant
Do you get what we
in
get?
society.
We're doing our best.
We do, yeah. We make a way out of no way, and
Hey.
as beautiful as it looks, it comes with a couple chinks in the armor.
Hey, man.
Right? A couple things that we just can't buff out. All right. So Harlem is welcome at all times.
Thank you, Harlem.
Yeah. Back to the
Anyway,
gun. Back to the gun. Yeah.
yeah.
What was actually? I know your song. The song you said $.
That's what got me hooked on the album.
Really?
I love that song. And here's my thing. I love a rap song that feels like it's not a rap song. And that one feels more like R&B love songy kind of. Because like the piano.
melodies, yeah.
And it's just real chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love a hype rap song.
Yeah.
But that one to me just was like.
Something about like the mellowness of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also Clear My Rain is a hard second place.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I
So
really
good.
enjoyed. I was just saying, Still Prevail.
Still prevails.
I don't know. I
Matthew,
really
we
like
listened to that in the
song.
car on the way here yesterday.
I like
It was
that
good.
song a lot. I like that song a lot.
There's a lot of good ones, honestly.
Yeah, I like Back in the A.
Back in the A is another one.
Yeah.
That one just
Yeah.
it fits for us because we're here. We're really in the A. And
Facts.
I don't know. It works for Gunna, just like his storyline and all. I don't know. Back in the A, like
Yeah.
they try to count him out, and he's still here.
They
so
sure did.
They really try to
sure
count my
did.
brother out.
They say he was a snitch.
And guess what? He sold out State Farm Arena. So
Yeah,
Now
he
what?
beat the case. He beat the allegations.
come on,
Not many can
And
say.
dropped a gem.
a
And dropped
gem.
Gas.
One
And I feel
Yeah.
like One of One, the song, also fire.
It
getting-
is.
Is it close to getting played out? Yes.
I mean, but
I'll
that's what
still
happens when you
listen
got
to
some.
it still hasn't crossed that threshold where I'm like, skip. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a new artist that, well, not even a new artist, but an artist that we can all three of us say we love to death, and he don't miss.
Let me tell you right now.
He up there with Post Malone, in my opinion.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I have a special place in my heart for this artist.
Yeah.
Me too.
Don. We're talking
Donnie?
about Donnie boy.
Don
Yo,
Tully?
Don Tully is one of them ones. He makes me enjoy the Houston sound so much more. Like I'm a
I
fan
think just his
of
sound in general.
yes.
Too. His voice is something.
it's
a very thin line between having a real different voice and like a unique sound
Yes.
that is like either annoying or really sick.
yes.
And I feel
yes.
like his sound is like, this is so different, and like no one sounds like that.
And what's crazy, I think what makes him, because it can get like, you can hear where his voice could be annoying at some point, but
Yeah.
he understands music. So he does it to a point where like
He doesn't overdo it.
he doesn't overdo it. Because his runs, he could be on one of those people who do too many runs.
Yeah, and it's like it could be way too auto.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily.
It's just perfect. Like he finds a way, and each of the songs, he curated a sound for each style that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this album has me is on repeat all summer for me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
And he's stepping into like his rock star era.
Yes.
I think, you know.
I hope he
It's
doesn't
getting
physically
real
change
hardcore.
too much, though.
I don't think so.
Too much. Like Playboy Cardi, that's too much.
Oh yeah, don't
But
go that
they-
far.
yeah.
But I think I don't think it's headed that direction.
No,
Okay,
he's
fair.
not that type of artist.
No.
Well, I don't
Can't
know.
speak for nobody, man.
I can't speak on how artists try to like display themselves, but Don doesn't give me that. If that makes sense. he's about to be
He
a
has
father.
taste.
You know what I mean? Like I think he's more focused on the music for real more than anything because he's dropping an album like every year.
Not to mention he just had a child.
Yeah.
So.
Congratulations to
Congratulations to Dawn and
you know
Kelly.
what I mean?
Of
Dawn
course.
and Kelly. I'm sad she wasn't on the album, but you said she was pregnant, so.
Yeah, I mean, she was literally having a kid, so.
Yeah, true.
Fair enough. Okay, so.
But she did just drop a single. I haven't heard it, but I saw it on Spotify.
I'm gonna check it out.
I'll try and drop a name. Hopefully we can just name.
Yeah.
Maybe. These are funny because sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll put the label name. So, what do you want me to put here? Just name a random song.
What?
Name a random song.
That we were talking about?
Doesn't matter.
Why?
Just do it.
I don't understand the assignment.
What's stressing you out? Name a song.
You can get an answer. I'm not happy
You can
with.
literally name any song.
Brady's not computing the words that you are saying right now.
All right, so we're gonna come back to it.
She said no.
Just any
she said
song.
pineapples. I don't want to do
I'm
this.
gonna say the song that's on my brain right now. Hypotheticals.
Pick a song from the album. Pick a song.
From Don Toliver's album? Bandit.
That's
Bandit. We're gonna drop Bandit's right here, right? And then sometimes I won't feel like doing it, and I'll say, like the hypotheticals one.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that one now. Now that you made her say it, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Get out of here, bro.
Yo, editors feel you. Jesus.
Hey, I can do what I want. Actually,
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next artist because this is an album that I loved. I don't know why I loved it so much because I hadn't listened to an album fully by her, but Billie Eilish.
What
Another
possessed you?
round of
Because another round of applause for sure.
You've never listened to any of her albums?
I've
Not all the way through.
Not me either.
It's the first one I ever listened to.
Me either.
That's crazy.
And it was because of Matthew. I listened to it.
I loved that album. Like it was very
It's
well
beautiful.
put together.
She's
Even though
talented.
Even though I don't know her or have keeping up with her in social life as much as we do it as people, I could tell that this was a growth, like a very much
It's very mature.
Yeah, it was a mature album in comparison.
But
to
it's
the
still
song.
very fun because I feel like a lot of her music, it has a lot of emotion built into it, but it's still like, what am I trying to say? Kind of like eclectic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like
Absolutely.
explorative.
Crazy enough, that's how I feel about Adele. Anytime she drops,
Really?
like in the sense of she matures with her music.
Oh yeah, I
So,
mean all her
like,
albums are basically titled after her age,
Exactly.
so it's like you can't help but
you kind of tell where she
grow.
is in her life at that point.
I
And
still think she was snubbed for a Grammy on that album. 30.
who did she lose to?
I don't even think she was in the runnings.
30 never got nominated. That's insane.
I don't
Because
think
it
it
did.
I thought you were talking about the one. Didn't she beat Beyonce one year?
She did. I
No,
think
I'm
that was for
talking
like
about 30.
25 or 21.
I was waiting for the
I don't remember.
Grammys. I watched the Grammys to see if
30's the one with the side profile
Yeah.
that
Amazing
came out in like
album.
20.
2021.
One. Yeah.
I think
21.
one.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was
I believe it was
really
October.
good.
Was it October?
October or November.
I think so.
It was cold.
Was it
It was because I was in Atlanta that month when it came
Yeah.
out, and I was listening to it.
You were still in Cali? Yeah.
Yeah. See? Yeah, but anyway, Billie Eilish's album, one of the songs that I really liked was Lunch. It was like the second song. on the
Yeah.
album. I just think that her music is so unique.
It is.
It is.
It's just so unique.
How do you quantify like the sound? What do you?
She also just has a really impressive voice.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Vocally,
she has amazing control.
That was literally
Her
about to
pitch
say
is
that.
like close to perfect.
Coming from one of the goats yourself.
Come on,
I
speak
would
that.
understand.
Talk that talk,
Yeah.
girl.
No.
I fully believe you in everything that you're saying.
Oh, thanks.
No lies have been told.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
Just a girl.
But yeah, no, she's impressive, and the fact that she's been doing it so well for so long at such a young age tells you everything you need to know.
Like
about her.
since a young age. Her first
Yeah.
album came out when she was what, like 19?
I thought she was 17.
Probably.
I could be wrong, but I think she was.
It was
older.
a teen year. Or
Yeah.
something. Like she, under
Teen was
20.
in the
To
conversation.
drop something like that under 20 years old.
And to get Grammys on that too.
Her and her brother.
Yeah.
Blessed.
They definitely have to put their
Gifted.
foot
And I'm and what I heard, she had recorded it in her room with her brother.
Yeah, in
Probably.
the closet.
Yeah, in a closet or something. Like that's impressive.
That's pretty cool. That's definitely
That's
what-
impressive.
one of the reasons why I was drawn to her music. But another artist that, or I guess it would be more than one, that we can all say hit right now is top 3 in this conversation. Kaytranada.
Duh. I love house music, bro.
Let me tell you, there's something
And
about
he's
house
one of
music
those
that puts you
ones
in
that
good
does
music
it right. You know
very
what I mean?
well. Like what he did with
It's one
Mine.
person?
Kaytranada, yeah, he's one person.
Kaytranada.
K-Tramine was the album.
Started that smart.
That was my album of the summer last
my
year.
God.
Yeah.
I played all those songs over and over and over because it was house music with like real rappers. Like you had Big Sean, Freddie Gibbs, Anderson on there. You had like real spitters who can.
That's cool, but the highlight is Duran Bernard.
You're talking about
yes.
Yes, I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
That is such a good song.
That's a vibe.
Weird.
Yeah.
He is just. Let's just give a spotlight to Duran.
Yeah.
He's him.
He is.
He's him.
Vocally, it's
vocally,
insane. I can't even explain what he does.
It doesn't even make sense.
Have y'all seen? I was on TikTok, and a video of him performing live at one of his shows came out, and this man is just hitting notes that you didn't even know existed. I'm like, bro, how are you doing this with ease? Like
on the
spot. Like he's looking at people in the crowd, and they're like cheering him on, and he'll just hit that note like nothing happened, bro. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
You're built different.
Yeah.
You're built different.
He's him.
He's him for real.
Okay, so out of the music items that we've just spoken about, Gunna, Don Toliver, Billie Eilish, Kehlani, Kaytranada.
We didn't talk about Kehlani yet.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Facts.
We didn't. Let's have a conversation, y'all. We're saving it? Okay, say
Gunna,
less.
Don Toliver,
I don't need much
Billie
time with
Eilish.
that.
I don't need it. I don't need much time.
That's why we're going to save it. Gunna, Don Toliver, Billie Eilish, and Kaytranada. I want to know how each album made you feel whilst you were listening to it.
I thought you were going to have us rank them.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Dawn, I'm gonna start with Dawn just because that's the one I've lived with the most and repeated the most. Every time I listen to it, it puts me through a whirlwind of emotions. So like because how it starts with the whole heavy rock feel, and then it switches up at the point of like Glock, like into like a more house, New York, Cash Cobain type of sound. It was just like a fun summer feel. Like I feel like I should be outside. Like I should be outside enjoying like people.
Since Bandit came out, like imagine that song and you driving down the highway with the windows down. What?
I felt the same thing
I
about
need to ride a
Attitude,
bus.
bro. I'm like Charlie Wilson and Cash Cobain got
Crazy.
me moving. I was just
Crazy.
like, and then him and Travis just like they have such a marriage when it comes to music. Like that's a duo that doesn't get spoken about enough. It's Travis and Don. So anytime I hear them and they knock it out the park, like Inside is an insane record to me. Like that's how I felt when I heard You for the first time. I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
So he just kind of put me in a space where I'm really feeling the music, and not too many artists do that for me, I guess.
I think too, Don Toliver and Travis Scott are two artists that I like when they are on their own songs, but also as features.
Yes.
Like they never miss. Where if you're the song and you're featuring other people, fire. Yeah. If it's somebody else's song and you're featuring Don Toliver, I'm playing that first, like immediately.
I need that. That's how I felt when I listened to him on SOS. I was like, yes.
That's definitely how I feel about Post Malone.
Anytime you see him as a feature?
Yeah, if he's a feature, I don't care about nothing.
Beyonce.
That's how I feel about Ty Dolla
Sign.
Ty Dolla Sign.
You pretty little thing.
Yeah, I'm listening to
that
every day of the week. Every day of the week.
That's Levi.
Levi's jeans.
Yeah, Levi's
jeans. And he's dropping another album in August.
That man don't stop
working.
Yeah,
As he should.
Very excited for that.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, to wrap up music talk, we're gonna end with Kehlani. And the reason why we're ending with Kehlani is because there's not much to be said, but I want to wait until the next conversation to really dive into it, because niggas are hating right now.
Call me niggas, because let me tell you right now, I'll be objective. I like when
You I like her last single.
No, I didn't.
That's the thing. I think the single she put out did not get me. But when I started listening to the album from the top, I'm like, okay, cool. This is cool. But the singles just did not captivate me enough to be like, I can't wait. See,
here's the thing. I like when artists try to step in their experimental bag when it works. I just didn't feel like it worked. For me.
What do you feel like she was experimenting?
Her sound.
Like, what about it was experimental?
When it comes to Kehlani, she makes a lot more soft tone tracks and like a lot more emotionally filled with like I don't know. The emotions felt different on this album. If that makes sense. Like
I can see that.
She was coming from a whole different place, and that's not bad. I guess she had to get that off, and whatever the case may be. But the sound just felt a little too rigid. Like it was just a little harsh, and I was just like,
because I feel like typically I would put her in the same category as Janae Aiko.
It felt like when Miguel was trying some new shit, and I was just like,
That's fair.
I don't know if I want this. Like Miguel,
I don't think
to
I'm
me,
accustomed to it yet. Like I haven't given it enough time to live.
Yeah, and granted, I might find like a couple songs I still really do like off of there,
and that's why we're gonna wait till next week.
But boo,
or next episode rather, to really.
All right.
Yeah, Diana Hibay. So.
Not yet.
Crash.
I can't wait for you to be wrong. I love it when you're wrong.
I could be wrong, but also I could be right.
It might go on you.
It might.
Fair enough. So, to wrap up music talk, I actually wanted to bring some insight to you guys because I am a music teacher.
Wow.
Put me on, brother.
So,
Tell me.
my million way to it at the moment is being a piano teacher, and I get to deal with children and adults, or music and voice, and I get to deal with children and adults and teach them things that you wouldn't normally just know.
Mm-hmm.
So the word tetra, do you know what it means? Do you have any idea what it means? What do you think of when you hear the word tetra?
Tetris.
Exactly.
We're here.
Exactly. So it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
The word tetra means 4.
Okay.
I was about to say 5, but 4
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. 4. And a series of 4 notes is known as a tetrachord.
Okay.
And so the way to build a major scale is to have 2 tetrachords joined by a whole step. That's how you build any scale.
Okay.
So from C to C, which is the C major scale, you would start at C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C.
Okay. And that's a tetrachord.
That's a tetrachord. Or those are 2 tetrachords put together.
2 tetrachords.
To make a major scale.
To make a major scale.
Yeah. The more you know.
The more you know.
Wow.
Oh, that should be the name of that segment. The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Next week, we might have something else.
Say less. I like that.
All right,
I
so
love those little facts.
let's get down to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
The reason why we're here in this special occasion, or on this special occasion rather.
Absolutely.
Taylor.
Oh,
Who
Miss
are
Scalzo.
you? Like actually.
It's such a heavy question if you
It
think
is.
about it. Who are you?
Yeah.
I want to just hear your interpretation of that.
Of who I am. I think that is still something I'm figuring out. But I think also I'm pretty aware of who I want to be.
Well, not so deep.
I am a graphic designer.
Okay. Introduce yourself to the people.
You know what I mean? I'm Taylor. I am a creative. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. 614.
614.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a graphic designer. I have a couple different jobs, but my 9 to 5 corporate job is for Bath and Body Works home office.
I'm sorry, you're who? Your main job is for Hooded?
Bath and Body Works?
Come on, dude.
Totally tubular.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you want to tell me that if I go to Bath and Body Works now, I could see something that you designed?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've done more than just one project for Bath and Body Works.
Yeah. I work on the core team for body fragrance.
Wow.
So all of our core fragrances I've probably worked on. Well, not yet, but within the past year I've worked on a lot of different core redesigns. So
wow.
yeah.
I'm stunned.
That's my 9 to 5.
Wow, you've I have so many questions, but I kind of want to.
Channel it in. Yeah.
Facts.
I'm gonna ease my way into this.
Yeah.
That's the main portion.
Okay,
and then
9 to
I'm
5.
also a junior designer for this studio in New York called a BK Studio.
Okay.
Love that job. I started them around the same time, but a BK is more contracted. Okay. So I work directly, usually under my manager, Dots Dotan. She's amazing.
Shout out to your manager.
Dose of Dots on Instagram. She's really cool.
Woo.
But yeah, I do a lot of stuff for them. We work with a lot of different clients, but it's mostly like print design, sometimes branding, social media, stuff like that. And then I do freelance on the side.
Okay, how did you start? How did you get into this?
Into both jobs?
Well, just graphic
design. It was actually low-key an accident.
An accident.
And I say that in the way of like going about it when I was going into college. Like I've always been creative. Like I've loved arts and crafts since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was always coloring something, picking up a new hobby. I've also had like undiagnosed ADHD like my whole life. So I was always trying to find something new to do. I was really into like felt. I was really into crocheting. Like literally anything, drawing. I was into fashion. Anything arts and crafts. I was here for it. I was a real artsy kid. And then when I was applying for college, I went to Andrews University for 2.5 years. When I originally got accepted, I got accepted for pre-PT.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh, wow.
I don't know what possessed me to, like, you know what I mean? It was an outrage, because why would I do that? Why would I do that? So yeah, I'd done that, and I think it was mostly because I was a student athlete in high school. So I was like, I like sports, you know.
What'd you play?
I did volleyball, soccer, basketball, and acrobatic gymnastics.
Oh, you was
volleyball,
really
football.
Volleyball, soccer, basketball, gymnastics.
What was your favorite sport to play?
I love volleyball.
Really?
It's between volleyball and gymnastics, I think. Basketball, I was real bad. Don't look up any tapes. Do not even.
I want to see some highlights.
Do not dig any further into that.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see game.
Soccer, I've loved since I was a kid.
Football.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I would say volleyball and gymnastics were my faves. Fair enough. But yeah, I felt like I thought I would be interested in like sports medicine type of thing, PT. Yeah. But then I realized I literally am a scaredy cat. You know what I mean? I can't do blood. I can't do broken bones. I can't do like gory things, especially when it's on somebody else. So immediately into that. And I think I got accepted with that as my major and then switched it to interior design. To where I thought, I was like, I can decorate houses. But interior design is much more like architecture and not, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when I went to preview at Andrews, I was supposed to go to an interior design class. I ended up going to a visual arts class on accident. And I sat in that class and they did like an annual magazine every year. So it was like the editorial design class for that magazine. So I just remember sitting there and I kind of had a feeling I was in the wrong place. So I was texting my advisor like, hey, I think this is the wrong class. But I was also just kind of like, you know, taking it in. I was like, this is pretty cool. He eventually came and got me, took me across the street to the architecture or like the interior design class. Hated it. Really? When I tell you bored to tears, it was some class talking about like why buildings have to be shaped the way that they're shaped depending on their size and location and whatever. I'm like,
I don't care.
It sounds like math to me personally. Yeah. I'd rather go over there when they were doing like a live critique. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ended up going back literally that same day, switched my major to visual arts, applied, and like set up my entire schedule for the next semester.
Wow. What's crazy is I know you, so knowing now that you didn't start with graphic design throws me for a loop just because of how creative you actually are.
It wasn't like in the forefront of my mind. I don't know why. I think. And it wasn't necessarily a popular career path at the time. Like, I knew it was a thing, kind of, but I never took it seriously. You know?
So what was your first step into it?
Getting into it, like, when I started school? Or just like...
Well, the whole graphic design journey, so, like, where you started from then until now, what was the first step, second step, third step, and then opportunities, open doors? Like, how did it go from there?
It definitely started at Andrews. I think I learned a lot of my technical skills at Andrews. I took a lot of different classes that went over different Adobe programs, which kind of set me up for where I needed to go. The thing with Andrews that I felt was lacking was more so in just like the resources category and like conceptual ideas, you know what I mean? And I didn't realize that until I transferred to an actual art school, how like much I was not used to thinking of concepts. It was more so just like, here, design this, and that's what I would do, but never more so into like why and what it's for and what your goal is and like who the audience, you know, who you're designing for type of thing. So yeah, I learned a lot of technical stuff at Andrews, transferred to Columbus College of Art and Design. But since I transferred, I was technically a sophomore again, just based on credits and like what classes I needed to take. So then I finished at CCADU in 2 years, so like 4.5 years total. But when I got there, I felt like I had to learn my entire creative process all over again, but for the better. Scary. Because I had the technical skills, but like the conceptual stuff is where I was starting to struggle because I was like, we never had to figure this out. You know what I mean? Like all of the briefs we got were very specific. We all did the same projects. But here, and it's like we could rely on other people, you know, I could see how you did your project and kind of influence how I did mine, but if we're all working on separate projects with separate briefs and separate, you know what I mean, like everyone's in their own lane, it really forces you to like be creative, and that's kind of the point of like concepting. Wow. But it was for the better. I made a lot of great friends. I had a lot of good opportunities. I did a lot of cool projects, and I think too, they like forced us to document our work to where I did not have this much work or like proof of work to show before, to where now I have to literally post on Instagram, make a Behance page, like do all of this, screenshot my like files as I'm working through them to just show how I got from point A to point B. Like we never had to do that, and never had to be able to put into words and explain how we got there. Because before you could just be like, oh, I just did this because of this, but it's like, but why? You know what I mean? Like as a designer, you kind of have to have an answer or like a reason or a purpose for everything. Because I could like make it pink because I want it to be pink, but if you really put time and effort into what you're doing, there's a deeper reason for everything. It could be color, it could be typography, it could be like photo filters, anything. It should all interconnect and make sense. You know what I mean?
Interesting enough, working with you is what stands out the most is your professionalism. Like you're very detail oriented as far as like the work that you bring back to your clients. So where do you think that type of structure came from? Do you think it was your first half of was the conceptual side that kind of helped you learn that, or was that at your second school or the first school? Because I feel like that stands out a lot. That's what separates you actually from a lot of the people that I've worked with.
I appreciate that. I feel like that's not really something they teach you in school, honestly, which is kind of a shame, especially when a lot of us are freelancing while we're still in school, and we're just doing it. Like people were paying me $20 for a logo. You know what I, like,
oh my
granted,
goodness.
I'm a student, so it's still technically student work, but like, it's still a product. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I just understanding like your field and what you should be making, even at that level, it's like, that's a bargain.
Yeah. I think I just had like really high standards for myself and just really high expectations, and I can like, a lot of my clients at first were people I was cool with, so like it was kind of very like, I wouldn't say unserious, but it was very casual. To where once I started working with clients I didn't know or that people had recommended to me, then like I had to put a system in place of how I was going to go about it. And I feel like right now it still needs a lot of work. Like it could be so much better. I just kind of make do because it's not necessarily the top of my priority list at the moment because of my other two jobs. And also just like self-managing is very difficult, especially with ADHD. Like it's very tough for me to... It's really comforting to hear you say that, because I feel like I struggle so much with freelance and just like keeping myself on a good schedule and timeline and like forcing myself to get the work done, because it's not like I don't want to do the work and I don't know how. It's just like sometimes starting and also setting up a decent schedule for myself that allows me to make progress without putting it off till the last minute, because I would do that in school all the time and it would always work out because I work really well under pressure. But it's not you can't do that when you work with a client. You can say, okay, I'm gonna get you an update by this time.
You can't start working on
and
the
then
night
you
before.
Don't. You know what I mean? And then I don't want to present work that is shitty or that doesn't like, it doesn't make sense.
You fully.
Yeah. So it's just a balance, I think. But yeah, I think it was more self-taught, if not observing other people or just kind of interacting with other professionals and realizing, okay, that's something I want to incorporate into my business, or okay, I literally never want people to feel like I feel working with this person.
Let me ask you this, because you've mentioned ADHD a couple times now, and I can relate to that on a level that people don't understand. But do you think that's helped you creatively as much as it could have been a hindrance as well in certain aspects of your life? Because I believe that ADHD, it lends to the creative process because it just allows your brain to flow at times. And I know how frustrating that can be in other instances when it comes to like actually trying to... When you need it to flow, it won't flow. But like when you don't necessarily need it to flow, then all your ideas are coming and you're like... I'm literally trying to go to sleep, and all of a sudden it's like, I have now like my brain just wants I think it's a two-part thing, because I think it does help at times when I really need to lock in and I can just like hyper focus on something for hours at a time and just crank right through it. Obviously that works when you save stuff to the last minute, for sure, like consistently.
But I think it does hinder me at times. It also just, I think it's part of the reason why I struggle with imposter syndrome really badly. Because I have such high standards for myself and I'm a very detail-oriented, perfectionist type of person, I think it takes me longer to get to a stopping point sometimes because I'm like, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. To where, especially if I'm working with a client, if I would have just shown them what I had, majority of the time, what I'm going to show them is way better than what they thought it would be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's not to be like prideful, but it's just like with the standard of work that I hold myself to, it's gonna be good. It may not be the perfect idea that I had in my head, but like definitely I'm going to deliver something worth your money. You know what I mean? Right. And I think I get caught up in trying to get it to that perfect point before even sharing something. When really, once I share it, we come to a much better level of clarity because we had conversations about what is working, what isn't working, and then I know an easy solve to what we're working with. Right. To where then it just flows on. To where I'm like, if I would have just shown it, I would have just gotten started, shown them the first draft, and known that, okay, this is automatically working, and we can just delete the rest of these ideas. Instead of trying to work through every single idea and then showing it, and then they're just like, oh no, that one's perfect. And I'm like, that was the first one I had, but I forced myself to come up with 6 other options because it didn't feel like it was enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just a balance, but
it is. Wow.
It's a learning curve. It is, especially working for yourself.
I think it is a blessing and a curse in a sense because
100%.
You cranking out those 6 ideas is you taking your time to like go, okay, bet I can do it this way, I can do this way, I can do this way, I can do this way. When in reality, you should only do that when it matches, right? You should only do that when you know for sure they're looking for that type of style.
Yeah.
But it does,
and not just for option's sake. Like I do it because my brain tells me that it's weird if I don't have a certain amount. You know, it's just like almost like an OCD thing too. It's where I'm like, they just need to see some, you know, and sometimes they'll literally be like, we just want to see something. And I'm like, no, not yet. You can't see anything yet. And I'm like, this is perfect. Like, it's fine.
So how do you fight that to push through if you have?
It's still really hard. I can't lie. It literally is just like me having to tell myself, like, just turn it in. You know what I mean? Just send the draft. Right. Like, that's it. Yeah. I'll clean it up to where it does look presentable. I'm not just sending scraps or, like, half-assed ideas. But I have to get over my inner thoughts and my inner voice saying it's not good enough, it's not ready yet, and just send it because then I just get into a spiral of my own critique to where I need an outside source to, like, kind of silence that. Because once again, I'm not going to create bad work on purpose. You know, I may create something that doesn't work or they're not happy with, but like there's always a solution. It's just working with them to find that solution. Because it is like, obviously I want my clients to trust my judgment and my creativity and my vision, but I also want to make sure that I'm fulfilling their needs and what they see for their brand, their company, their whatever. Yeah,
I can relate heavily on that.
I can say you're really good at adding your style to what the vision, the overall vision is. I'm someone who likes to work within a creative think tank. So like I can throw ideas at you and you kind of send them back my way with whatever can enhance the idea the most. And I think you're really good at that as far as just like, ooh, I see this here that I can just put this here. I was going to say, I have a 2-part question. Yeah. Real quick. As far as like, what do you believe your the shift in your graphic design journey has been, and what do you want your next shift to be? So like, you know, okay, I was here, this put me here, and what can put me to the next level where I'm trying to get to? Yeah.
I think I just went through somewhat of a shift, mostly in speaking towards my like full-time job. Because I think when I first got that job, I technically got both my jobs at the same time, but I enjoyed my part-time way more than my full-time because I wasn't fully immersed in my full-time job yet and didn't really have a lot of responsibilities or like, I didn't necessarily feel ownership over my work at all. It was just kind of like doing whatever people needed me to do. I think also mentally I told myself that it was just a placeholder because I was kind of I didn't necessarily have a full-time job at the time. I was technically still employed, but I didn't necessarily work there anymore, for real.
That must have been mentally draining.
It was a lot. It was a very tough time, not gonna lie. Yeah. But I think once I started, because it wasn't exactly like the field I wanted to be in, graphic design-wise, yes. I wasn't a big fan of package design at first, and I also just didn't really care too much about the company, as bad as that sounds. I've always been more intrigued by fashion and footwear, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I wanted to be in the retail business, and I technically am, but it's more in the beauty, body care, you know, space, which at the time I didn't necessarily take seriously, and I also just didn't see my value within the company yet. But I think after my collection for Women's History Month, and also just really taking my job seriously, because I think a lot of times I kind of just try and get by without really like giving my all. And I think that was because of multiple reasons of me having a lot going on in my personal life, and also just me balancing the rest of my, you know, side jobs, to where I'm doing this to make money, obviously, but I also need to genuinely care about my work. That's so I think once I had that mental shift, I started to enjoy it a lot more. I felt a lot more in charge of what I was doing. Felt like I could apply myself better. Was getting, and I think also just getting really good feedback from my peers and my manager and my coworkers. You know, we had a really good, my manager and I had a really good like end of year review after my first year.
Oh, nice.
Which really kind of set the tone for me of like, I'm not doing that bad. You know, like I'm doing a good job. And sometimes it is that like need for words of affirmation sometimes that I'm like, okay, you're doing a good job. Like, it's fine. You're doing great work, you know. Because again, like I said, imposter syndrome is crazy. It's real. So crazy.
Oh man, we have that conversation all the time.
All the time.
It's so bad. Like, it sucks.
That's why hearing you say that is so relatable.
So, would you say, and I hope this is not like a heavy loaded question, but would you say that finding yourself and being self-aware about yourself outside of your work has helped you become better as a worker?
100%. Because I think, especially when it comes to my corporate job, I've had to still learning how to separate myself from my work, to where my side jobs, I feel like I need to put more of myself into my work, to where with my corporate job, it's not about me. It's not necessarily about whose designs get chosen the most. It's about the business. It's about our customer. It's about creating and choosing the directions and the designs that work best for our customer and that will make us the most money. It doesn't matter who does it. It's whatever design fits that criteria. And obviously it feels good to have your designs chosen. Sometimes you can spend days, weeks on design options that get cut in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Or don't even get the light of day.
And you can't get emotionally attached to the
idea. You can't. And I struggle with that because I think I put a lot of myself into my work usually. And I just have a lot of pride in what I do because I hold myself to a very high standard. So I think I've been learning the hard way how to deal with that. But I think on the side, I like to put more of myself into my work, and like, even if it is for somebody else, it's still a part of me in a way. And I want to be able to have someone attach my name to that work and me be like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you did.
And not like, all right, chill, I did that as a side project and I really did not try and I did not care. You know what I mean? Because there has been clients like that to where they got what they want, but I wasn't necessarily proud of what I did.
Okay. Like, quite honestly, that's why I think we loved working with you when it came to just the whole branding aspect of what we were doing, just because you gave us your all on top of really just being so good at your job. It was one of those things where we're just like, damn, we're getting so much more than we thought we were. And that was the most beautiful part, because anytime people see what we have now and we kind of meet with folks on a different level, they kind of like, oh, this is legit. Like, because I always said, reason working with you was so great was because you understand branding on a large scale.
I was just gonna say, I think a lot of my job obviously is creating and designing, but a lot of it is educating. Because people will come to you and be like, I need a logo, I need a t-shirt design, especially when it gets to the logos. Because people come up with an idea and think they immediately need a logo. You don't. You need a concept. You need a solid concept. You need a reason why you're doing what you're doing, and you need like, branding is important, but like you need to get like the rest of it together before you go into branding, because branding and design in general is really just like visual translation of like ideas and concepts. So it's like turning those ideas, those words on paper, into something visual that people can interact with and be affected by. But if you don't have a solid concept behind what you're doing, like, you want to start a clothing brand for what? Because you want to, because you need to make money, like. And it's like, that's fine if that's your reason, but like, just be honest with yourself about why you want to do what you want to do, and also be prepared to pay someone to do what you need them to do and to do it well.
Yeah.
Because that's also where people get caught in the cross flames, because it's like, well, I need a logo, but I'm not paying you to do that. Yeah. And it's like, well, you also don't care enough about what you're doing. You just want something quick that you can make your Instagram profile picture and then sell some cheap ass shirts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I definitely understand.
Wow.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Little bit of an intermission.
Here at the Million Ways to It podcast, we are broke.
Hey, talk that talk.
We are very, very financially insufficient at the moment. However, we're back again. So let's lock back in with the second half of our very special gift.
Our gift
Very
for this
special
episode.
GUEFT.
Our gift.
Taylor
Special gift.
Scalzo.
I'm back, still here, still
rocking. Still rocking. So we were talking about you. We were talking about your journey and whatnot. And here at Million Ways to It, we want to tell people what the way to it is. Mm-hmm. And so if someone was to start right now listening to our podcast and they're like, hey, I'm giving you a chance in the middle, and we want you to give me like some steps on how could I become this. I'm a creative. I love art. I love arts and crafts. I love computers. All that stuff is cool. But I don't know where to start. Like I don't know what the program I should buy, what equipment, all that stuff. So if you could give me like a quick 5-stepper, very generic, very general, do this, be in this area, actionable stuff. What could we do? What could we say?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first step is to just start, and I think you don't have to wait until you have all the expensive equipment and programs and materials to do what you want to do. If you have that desire within you, then you can kind of make do with what you have in the meantime, because I think that's what I did a lot of the time. Or if I didn't have the knowledge to do what I wanted to do yet, I either went and found it or just kind of like BS'd my way until I figured it out. You know what I mean? It's a lot of trial and error. I would say become familiar with like basic design concepts. One of the classes I took at Andrews called Basic Design. It was one of the best classes I took for a multitude of reasons, but I think also just going over the basic principles, like composition, focal point, color, like stuff like that, to where it's really just common sense that not a lot of people may pick up on if it's wrong or not right, but people like me who critique things with a very critical eye, whether it's design or not, will immediately see it. And I think it's just becoming familiar with that. But it also depends on what form of graphic design you want to do. Like there's a lot of different avenues you can take if you want to go more illustration and like fine art type of graphic design, where you're just creating artwork that says something, then that's cool. You just work on your technique and creating a style that's like unique to you. But when it comes to like package design, editorial design, where you're working with words and color and shape and stuff like that, imagery, then it takes a lot more of a detail oriented mind to get into that. And a lot of that you don't learn unless you're doing it fully, or you learn it in school. I don't think school is 100% necessary for graphic design, but it does put you ahead by a lot, whether that's on a resume or just knowing all the things that you know. Because I think learning that on your own pace can be very overwhelming, because Adobe programs are not simple, But yeah, I would say just start, don't wait. Get familiar with design, like basic design principles and concepts. That'll just like add small touches to the work that you're already doing, if you are already doing work, and just elevate it. I would say also explore different mediums, because I think a lot of times I learn things about myself and my design process through doing other creative formats, whether that be photo, video, fashion, fine art, like painting, sewing. I used to do fiber arts for a little bit, because I have to have a different hobby every like 6 months. But yeah, I would just say that, and just finding what matters to you, because I think you can make art for the sake of art. We always need that. But I think figuring out what you want to do with it and why, whether it's like, okay, I want to go into the beauty industry because I love makeup, but I want to design. You know what I mean? It's just finding that middle ground of your passion and your skill set to where you can mesh the two and be really happy with what you're doing. Even if it's not right away, because there will definitely be jobs that you're doing that are simply to pay the bills and they do not fulfill you in any way. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of felt with my job at first, and now I really enjoy it. But it's just about giving your all and just like shooting towards that goal of what you really want to do, whether you achieve it initially or it takes 10 years. Like, it's going to take time, but the more you build yourself and your skills, the easier it is to get there. And I think, I don't know if that's 3 or 4 or 5, but the last one I would say is post your work or just share your work. Oof. The more you keep that inside, the more critical you are of yourself, the more you feel like you're not good enough. You have to be, that was also my last point, is like, be careful how much of yourself you put into your work. Because when you open up yourself to public critique, it can make or break you. Because it could be really good or it could be really bad. And if you're putting a lot of yourself and like who you are and your experience into your work, it can feel like people are critiquing your experience and who you are and not just the work itself. Because it could just be a critique on how you conveyed that message. And if it was really personal to you, then that could kind of feel like a personal attack, which I've had to learn is not the case, especially when it's coming from another creative. Like, it's constructive criticism. Constructive, yeah. And I think there's always room to improve. So, like, don't feel like you have to, like, get to this perfect level of creativity and then that's just how you proceed for the rest of time. No, you're always expanding. You're always getting better and you're always learning new things that can then enhance your creative process and the products that you're creating. Okay. So I'll just say start. Familiarize yourself with what design is if you want to go into graphic design specifically. Allow yourself to be critiqued. Try not to take it personally, and like just share what you have when you have it while you can, because if the more you keep it in, the less fulfilling I think it gets.
Wow. I think that's advice that can go for more than just graphic design, but creatives in general, because the art of, or just the vulnerability of sharing art is something that I don't know if casuals understand. Yeah.
And don't feel like you have to monetize it either.
You don't.
That's, I think, where I've fallen short, is taking all of my passions and things I'm really good at and trying to monetize and make money off of them, and then it takes all the joy out of it. Wow. And then I hate it, and then it becomes stressful, and then it becomes something I resent because I don't want to do it. Wow. But now I'm relying on it because I want the money. Wow. Don't do that. Okay. Unless you can. Unless that opportunity falls in your lap and you can and you actually enjoy it and find a good system, congratulations. But for me personally, I've lost the juice a little bit when it comes to monetizing every single thing that I do.
That's a good point. I was gonna say, like, last question for do you think there's a balance that you can find a balance between that, where you still love what you're doing but you're able to I feel like once you do something you love and you do it so well, monetization ends up coming whether you want it or not.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I can say I technically do balance it because my full-time job is monetizing my skill set and my passion. Yeah. But when it comes to doing things in your private time or in your personal time, whether it's a side project or a new hobby, have something that you can do and pour into that doesn't involve money. You know what I mean? Have something, a creative outlet that you don't have to worry about what other people think, that you don't have to worry about sharing it, that you don't have to worry about selling it or making a profit. It's literally just for you. Because when you do that, I think that's when you get back to your creative roots and why you do what you do and why you love what you do. Yeah. Because I get so caught up in designing for other people that I forget how to design for myself, or to just do something that I love simply because I love it and not because, well, this is what my client needs and it's due by this date and I need to do this so that I can make this money and pay this bill. You know what I mean? It's just doing it because you love it and because you have the resources and the talent and the passion for it. Passion projects are very important.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I think that you've given us a very, very strong package that can be shipped out to many different facets. But in relation to your field, I think one of the major things, if you are a graphic design person, is to truly like fall in love with the art of design itself, and then tap into the other things. And like when you figure out that you like something or that you love something, and I can relate that to music in general with me, do it first, see how much you like it, and then you can put it into a different area or different avenue that could potentially either make you money or famous or whatever it is you do. But you have to fall in love with that thing first, and then let it bloom and flourish.
And just give yourself room to change and change your mind.
Yeah.
Because I think I used to try and decide what area of design I wanted to go into. Like, oh, I really only like doing branding, or I only like doing editorial design. I want to do magazines and layout. But then I would do other stuff. I'm like, wait, that's kind of cool. Like, you don't have to box yourself in. And I think that's a good and bad thing with how jobs these days are working, because they'll hire you as a graphic designer, but you're also a photographer and a product designer and a videographer. You know what I mean? They'll have you do other things, which
You're
is great.
juggling between different titles.
Absolutely be multifaceted if you want to be. But also don't feel like you have to niche yourself into like, I just make stickers. Or like, I only design t-shirts. There, you can do so much more. And I think I started enjoying design a lot better when I stopped limiting myself or putting like a cap on my services when I'm like, I only really do this. Because then I'll do something new and I'm like, I actually would rather do that than the stuff I've been doing for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to learn new things. You're going to experience new like avenues of design and new mediums that you may have never done before that you would have been like, well, I'm not really doing that because that's not in my job description. But like, you may enjoy it a lot better, make more money off of it, feel way more fulfilled doing something else. So it's just give yourself room to grow and change your mind and try new things.
That's beautiful. I think you gave a lot of good information that I think people will take and can resonate with. And just outside of just graphic design, but within graphic design specifically, I think you just gave gems that you don't even understand, like people need to hear. Just on the creative tip as well. Like someone, like as ourselves, we're jumping into this whole new realm of just creativity. And it's like, it's sometimes it's good to hear from other creatives, and even if they're on a whole different avenue of creativity.
Yeah.
So just hearing that, it's been good for me. I think it's gonna be good for the audience, but just hearing you say that is good for me. I can say that much.
It's also good to get a perspective of people who are not creative.
Yes.
Because I think as creatives, we go at it at a different angle.
Yeah.
When critiquing or like just experiencing something, to where someone who's not necessarily creative could have a completely different experience or may notice something that you may not notice. Because I've done that. I've shown something to someone and they'll immediately point something out, and I'm like,
you looked at something completely different.
You know?
Yeah.
And that happens at work all the time. You know, people present work, they'll be using a specific image or texture, and they're like, it looks like cracked skin, and then you're like, yeah. So just change that. You know, it's just stuff that people will perceive things differently, and like you can't control that all the time, but it helps to also get people's point of view who are not creative and aren't looking for those nitty-gritty details of design concepts and whatever, to where it's just like, just the naked eye, like, what does this say to you right now, you know? But to an extent, because you don't want that to affect what and why you create too much, because then you're going based on outside opinion and not necessarily, you know, your original concept and passion behind what you're doing.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, for inviting us into your world.
Love talking.
You've shared so many things, and this will not be the last time that you see
not.
her, because you'll see her through the work. That
You always see Taylor. If you see us, you see Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, she's riding with us, bro. If you're hating, you're hating.
Yeah,
bro.
Sorry.
But thank you so much, truly. I think that a lot of people will benefit from that. And funnily enough, we usually come prepared with like extra questions and things that we can invite you into the conversation with. But you've come prepared to ask us something.
Stop it.
So
you got fun questions.
You know, I'm an overachiever.
Go ahead, talk to me.
Let's have fun, guys.
Questions are not deep at all, but this is a conversation that I had with my sister recently that I would like to expand to you both.
Let's talk.
So it all stemmed from rating your top 5 forms of potato, specifically fries.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So we kind of did.
All
Okay.
right. All right. We can have a conversation.
I'm a foodie, okay?
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, rating your top 5 fries.
Okay.
To where then the discussion came up whether a tater tot is a fry or not.
It's not a fry.
What are considered fries? So like the wedges, the crinkly
fry
fries.
is considered to be a fry based on the exact shape.
So,
but potato wedges were included in the conversation.
I don't think potato wedges are fries. I think they're wedges because it's more potato. Fry is not supposed to. It's supposed to be like a snack, you know, like a little.
So
that's
it's about
what
the
considers a
composition
fry of fries.
of the potato.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think it's based on composition instead of, you know, just we calling anything fries now. We calling big potatoes fries. Like, come on, guys.
So what?
So potato wedges and tater tots are not included in that conversation.
They're not included in fries.
But they're in the potato conversation
Obviously, because they are potatoes. But yeah.
So we're just speaking on the fry family alone.
I guess so, yeah.
If we're speaking on the fry.
I feel like it has to be top 3 because top 5 is a lot.
Okay.
So clearly Taylor was the one that submitted the question that we answered.
So basically, rank top 3 fries. Your top 3.
Type of fry.
Personal top
Type
three?
of fry, yes.
Are we
Respectively.
Are we including Taco Bell's nacho fries?
We're not
I think it's more so,
like the type of fry.
yes, not
So-
specific
type.
places,
So,
just like
yeah.
Okay.
curly
type of
fry,
fry.
shoestring fry, steak
Yeah,
fry, sweet potato
yeah.
fry.
I got you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love the fries that come with like Greek food. I feel like they're perfectly fried to perfection.
What
So
kind of
that's
fry
straight
is that?
fries.
That's straight fry.
That's straight fry.
Yeah, that's straight
Okay.
fry.
Okay, I like crinkly fries. I do.
Crinkles
Nah,
my number
I ain't
two.
gonna lie.
Forgot about that.
And
I
then
do
waffles
like
is
me a
my
crinkle.
number 3.
I like waffle fries. I like
Only
the.
from Chick-fil-A though.
I've had waffle fries from some good wing spots before. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've definitely had like, what do you call it? I've definitely had
Hold on. That's huh? Well, either way, we're just gonna full stop.
So,
New thought.
Matthew, your top three, you said Greek fries.
Yes, my top 3 are the Greek straight fries, crinkle fries, and waffle fries.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go straight fry, crinkle fry, and waffle fry. I think that's
What are you saying?
I think mine would be. It's really tough. I can't.
She said, "Oof."
Curly fry,
Curly fry,
waffle fry,
waffle fry.
shoestring fry.
Shoes.
Like the real skinny, crispy ones.
Yeah, I like
Those are
Honorable
good.
mention: sweet potato fry.
that. Honorable.
I do like sweet potato fry.
Not a
but
fan of
not-
steak. Crinkle and steak are just too potato for me.
Yeah,
I like crunch.
they're giving too much wedge.
Yeah,
I like crinkle
Less
a lot.
potato,
Yeah.
more crisp and fry.
yeah,
I hear you.
exactly.
I hear you.
So then, caveat to that question,
Okay.
in regards to fast food fries,
Yeah.
top 3 places to get said fries. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to correlate with your top 3 forms of fries.
Okay.
But if you could only get, if you had to
3
say
types of
these are the
fries.
3 best fries in the fast food game, what would it be?
We doing this? Okay. I'm gonna let you go first, buddy.
I'm gonna put Checkers in there. Like Checkers has to be in there.
Valid.
Right?
Yes.
Like it just has to be.
It
so
does.
we're only choosing the next 2.
I think we're on the same page.
Everyone's can be different. It doesn't
Do I
have
get sauces with these fries?
It's
Or
just
are
the
we just
fries.
rating it on the integrity of the fries?
just the integrity of the
And
fries.
integrity of
So
fries.
for sure I could eat Checkers by itself. Taco Bell's nacho fries I could eat by itself. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Wendy's fries are up there.
They are.
I think that they are. I think they deserve the spot over Chick-fil-A because without the sauce, and Wendy's fries be hit.
They do.
They do.
Wendy's fries hit. It makes me want to get the food, and I don't get the food.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go. Not in no specific order, I guess, but definitely Checkers is on there. Has to be. Taco Bell fries be so good too. I ain't gonna
When
lie
they're
to you.
when they're fresh,
When they're fresh and you have them with the
With the
nacho.
cheese sauce.
I don't
man.
I don't know. And the cheese sauce.
Yeah, I like the cheese sauce. And then I was gonna say Wendy's, but I think I really enjoy Burger King fries. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I forgot to mention those.
Yeah.
Those are gas.
Nah, I'm
those
good.
are gas. Those low key are
Really?
better than
No.
What you
they're
mean
low-key better
no?
than,
No.
Well, their sauce makes it too.
No. You're bugging.
I'll do the crispy crowns in the morning.
Okay, those be good
The
too, but
flat
no fries.
house
Those be
browns.
too oily. Well, they love
I don't like
oily
their fries
things,
at
bro.
all.
You
It
don't
wouldn't
like
even
what?
be in my top 5
Honestly,
Burger King fries.
top.
You just never been to a good Burger King. You ain't even eaten a Burger King in the
Yeah,
South.
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
Checkers, Burger King, and what else?
Checkers, Burger King,
Taco
and
Bell?
yeah, for sure. And Taco Bell's so crazy if people haven't had the fries, but
Like,
yeah,
what is there to hate? I don't understand.
those be good.
That's so disrespectful. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so
Wow.
sorry.
Wow.
Guys, he made a
Clearly
whole
you don't
announcement.
care about us.
A whole announcement
whole
about being on
announcement.
mute,
Silence.
on silent.
Everything.
Then we get back into
How
the
rude.
third
Oh.
quarter of this podcast.
JR, you said you had something
Wow.
for us?
Wow.
Yeah, y'all low key sleeping on Arby's curly fries.
I was about to say
yeah, no,
Arby's.
I
That's
forgot
like
about
Checkers fries, but on crap.
Yeah,
it's
the-
seasoned.
it's
but
just the
also
curly fries, though. I ain't gonna
Only
hold
the
you.
curly fries.
Just-
The curly fries
just-
are.
Now, if we're gonna
Banging.
talk crinkle, hear me out. Del Taco.
I've never had their fries.
I
you want a
I
crinkle
get
fry?
a crinkle fry from a wings place though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
little
gonna
one-
have to
Lowry's.
Yeah,
go.
man.
Little Lowry's on there.
Give me a 10
I
piece.
think it's gonna be
Highland
Taco
pepper.
Bell number 1 for sure.
You think?
Absolutely, it is.
Wow.
Taco Bell
Yeah.
number 1 fry for me.
It's just seasoned to perfection.
It's so good. It's just that little extra.
First.
Anyway,
If it
Taco
wasn't
Bell.
so oily, I would argue more.
I think I'm gonna go. It's between Wendy's and Chick-fil-A for number 2.
Chick-fil-A, bro, but Chick-fil-A by itself is.
They do
I don't
hit
know
or
if
miss
that-
with like
It's
salting
not
them.
old. It's not
That's
old.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When
I'ma
it's
go-
crispy.
The one by my crib is fire.
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
go
lie.
Taco
Facts.
Bell, Wendy's.
Facts.
Taco Bell, Wendy's, Arby's.
Wow, that's such a different list.
Yeah. I'm not mad at your list though, because the Arby's, when you have the Arby's curly fries,
They're
that is
gas.
different. I ain't gonna lie, they are gas.
They're And
She's
Sheetz,
not
have you ever
telling
had
no lie.
Sheetz?
No. Where?
Sheetz curly fries.
Really?
It's like a Wawa situation.
I love
Oh,
Wawa,
yeah,
bruh.
Wawa's
Made to order food 24/7.
Let me tell you, I
you
love
can
me
go
some
in and
Wawa.
order anything. They have everything. Oh.
It's in Ohio?
Well, it's in like Midwest
Midwest?
/ DMV.
Yeah, okay.
I used to go there in Maryland all the time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But
They
they
had
just
it
started
in
bringing them to Columbus. Thank God.
Okay.
No, no worries.
Wow. Well, thank you for that question. To
You
be
know,
honest
I
with you.
just a little
We got to
like,
clear up the debate. But let us know what your favorite fries are. Am I tripping? Is Hannah tripping? Is Taylor tripping?
No.
Yes.
No.
Right? Obviously.
Me? Why
She's
only
tripping?
me?
How's her list tripping?
Obviously.
Mine was like
number
one
is
off
Checkers.
from your list.
Yo,
Yeah,
facts.
so you had Taco Bell and you put Arby's in there.
Yes, because Arby's fries are good.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for
You're
tuning
not about
into
to do
this
that to
week's
my
episode.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah,
10
she said what
toes
she
down.
said.
Stand on business. Who's on my side? Who's on Taylor's side? Who's on Hazel's side?
Come on,
Right.
man. We need to know.
Where is your fry game? Maybe you like JR's perspective. You know.
What's JR's perspective?
The Arby's fries.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
could,
They are.
I'm not going to Arby's on purpose.
But if we're talking sauce, Chick-fil-A got to take Wendy's
Yeah,
spot.
yo,
Hey.
Chick-fil-A. They know what you know what you're doing out there.
Honestly though, Taco Bell's still number 1, sauce included.
I do be liking the hot sauce.
Okay.
But I'm not talking about for my fry.
I'll eat
Oh,
them
hater,
plain
bro.
with cheese, with sauce, with ranch, like with whatever.
Okay, we're not getting into the sauces debate, but we
No
will
more
at
sauce.
another-
Oh,
talk today.
you don't like to talk about sauce because he's not a sauce type
We're
of
not
guy.
talking-
I know,
It's
and I
cool.
just found this out.
It's cool. Yo, it's crazy, right?
No, this is a whole
Just
nother
dry
pod.
food
A whole
ass
nother
nigga.
pod. If you
You
want
know-
to talk
you know
about
what?
food,
You know
if
what?
you want to talk about food, bring me
Dry
back on.
food.
I'll have the list.
Not like
for
my
you.
food
We will.
plain.
But until then, Taylor,
Like,
where
not even ketchup?
can the people find you? Yeah, ketchup is asking.
You can find me
You only like
on.
one sauce.
Bro, barbecue sauce in there.
Hold on. This
Yo,
man
no,
said-
he wants to close out, but we're not closing
This
out like
man
this.
said word for word earlier.
Talk
I
to
would
me.
drink it.
Huh?
Barbecue sauce?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he would drink
You gonna
barbecue sauce.
Insane.
I'll stand on it.
Specifically Kraft barbecue sauce.
He not-
Kraft, not Sweet Baby Ray's, no nothing.
That's what I
Never
said.
seen Baby Ray's type
That's
of
what I
Baby Ray's
said.
original is doo-doo water, bro.
bugging.
Bugging.
Kraft.
And
Hey.
then cheese that doesn't melt. And you
Bro, barbecue sauce from Kraft over Sweet Baby Ray's
Oh
any
my
days.
god.
Bro, you're bugging. I ain't gonna hold you.
Not even like,
He's bugging.
Baltimore,
bugging.
Maryland
He's bugging.
sauce.
Bugging. Kraft.
Carolina Gold barbecue sauce.
Kraft.
Georgia sweet.
It's not
He
even
said
barbecue
Kraft. He said McDonald's barbecue sauce.
Alright.
Look me in my eyes when I say this. Don't
That
take
tany
any advice
barbecue
from
sauce.
me.
Yo,
I'm glad that
if
we're
imagine
saying
you talk about
McDonald's fries
sauces,
is
it don't matter.
I
Let
don't
me
want
tell
to hear
you.
it. I don't want to hear it.
This man don't like
He
ranch,
also
don't
doesn't
like
like pickles.
ketchup. You don't
Pickles
like.
are gross. We need to stop talking about this. Taylor, where can the people find you? Okay?
You can find me at any Taco Bell. All right. I'm
That's
joking.
real.
I'm joking. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and literally my username is the same on all platforms. TikTok.
Okay, so do like this. Like, tell them where they can click on it or they will point them out. Point 'em
You can find me at Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at TNScalzo. TNSCALZO. You can find me on LinkedIn, Taylor Scalzo. You can find me on Behance, TN Scalzo, and you can find me on my website, tnscalzo.com.
All of that will be put into the description of this video. If you are listening just primarily on our listening platform, we thank you so much for tuning into today's episode.
We appreciate
Thank
you.
We
you.
hope that you learned something. We hope that you were inspired, impacted, or entertained by us. And if you were not, we have a million more episodes.